This is my first year being properly monetized on YouTube, and over the last few months I've managed to actually start getting enough views that it's becoming a little bit of a significant thing. I've been full-time on TikTok now, though, for about 4 years, nearly 5. Let's compare what I made on my main TikTok account, or at least the one that I'm currently maining, as it were, in September versus what YouTube paid me in September. Compare the two, compare the amount of views that was required, and all that sort of thing, and get into a little bit of how that works. And if you like this sort of video, please be sure to subscribe and all that sort of thing. We're trying to grow. And I'm not going to do what I always do, where I waffle on for too long. We're going to get straight to the point and not do what tons of other creators do when making videos like this, where they talk specifically around in circles for like 15 minutes to try and get you to watch more of the video before they actually show you the figures. Let me show you the figures. So this is September 1st to September 30th, 2024 for my YouTube channel called Cayle Talks, where I basically just talk about games and buy games. That is pretty much all I do on this account at this point. The actual playing of games has been moved to a different account, so that's what I do. And in total, across that month, I made £901, which was my best month yet. If we take a look at some of my other months, for example, down here, this is how it shows you. It says how much you're earning. October ongoing, so this is this month so far, 675, and it's only the 17th right now, so we're only about halfway through the month, so I'm due to pretty well exceed last month. But as you can see, generally month on month since I've been taking this seriously, it's been growing. My first month trying and taking this seriously was May, where I made 164, then June it was 500, then it dropped in July a little bit because I just didn't get as many views. August it went up to 800, and then a bit more in September, and then this month has been my best month thus far. So let's compare that on a daily basis, shall we? So something I want you to pay attention to is this line graph, because this line graph, you see how very steady it is. There's not huge peaks and troughs until like right at the very end here, and even then that's not exactly a huge peak and a trough. The difference there is between £19 and £43. Just pay attention to how steady that graph is versus when I show you the same graph in a few minutes over on TikTok, because I think it's crazy. Granted, I absolutely grind content because I wake up every day and this is what I do all the time. So I had my best viewed video ever in September, and this is very interesting, is that even though my best viewed video ever came from the start of September, nearly 2 months ago, it's almost not making me that much money because the RPM on it, and for those that don't know, RPM is the amount you get paid per 1,000 views. So if we come down to here, so I can show you this, your RPM is about what you get paid per 1,000 views. This is that number. So generally, I get about £3.62, but it does tend to massively vary. So for example, if we look at some of my other videos recently, I've got tons scheduled, so some of these are going to be inaccurate. I need to look at one that's actually going to show me the numbers. Is game preparing for the end of physical media? This video has an RPM of £7.13, so I'm making £7 per 1,000 views. So I got 4,300 views, and so far have made about 26 quid, or just shy thereof. So despite the fact that my highest viewed video ever has got loads more views than anything else I've ever posted, it isn't actually contributing that much to how much I've earned, because the RPM on it is really, really, really low. So this how much is my PS2 collection video worth, while it is the video that's earned me the most money ever, it's earned me in that month £185, it only gets £2 per 1,000 views. It has a really low RPM. I don't know why, but I got unlucky with it. If it had the £7 RPM, I'd have earned triple from it than I actually have. So if we look at these peaks and the troughs, and something else to show you is each one of these little play button icons down here represents an upload. So I uploaded every single day, sometimes 3 times, sometimes twice, but nonetheless, every single day. The majority of the month I upload twice a day. I try to upload on this account at about 12 PM and 6 PM UK time every day. So for example, right now, about half an hour ago, a video went up. So generally, £41, £58, £44, £39, £33, £33, £22, bit of a low here, look, £20, £24, £20, £31, £42. You see how this varies as we go on. There had a few really low days here where basically I tested out a different content format that just did not go very well over at all. I tried some vertical stuff. So I basically didn't post real videos for a few days, and I paid the price for it quite literally. But then we went back to the normal content and boom, back up to the average of about 30 quid a day. So for the last couple of months, I'd say I've probably averaged about 20 to £30 a day on YouTube. Now, let me flip over to TikTok and show you the same sorts of numbers, but over there. It's currently loading, so I'll talk a bit about sponsorships and things like that, because some of you might be going, oh, but what about sponsors? So I'm sponsored by My Protein, and the way that works is I get paid a salary, so it's not necessarily on a video per video basis. I just did a sponsored post for a game company on one of my smaller TikTok accounts, and I got paid for that. But that was a different kind of sponsorship. My Protein sponsorship is an ongoing salary thing every month. So as long as the content is posted somewhere, it's cool. Okay, so this is the same time frame, so from the 1st of September to the 30th of September for my main TikTok account, Cayle Vlogs. Granted, I have 6 TikTok accounts, so there will be more money than this, but this is the one that I put the most effort into because realistically, there are only so many eggs that you can put in any given basket, right? There's only so many hours in a day. Over the last few months, I've been way prioritizing YouTube over TikTok, so I've just basically not been uploading things. In fact, I've been making a bit of a test this month to see if the limit, so for example, you see this little warning up here, it seems that your RPM has recently declined. That is what appears once you cross 60 uploads in any given month on TikTok, but we'll get to that. I've talked about it before. Now look at this. Look at how less consistent the income is on TikTok. Because this is a screenshot, I can't exactly show you day by day, but you can see that the most I earned in a day was £113 on one of the days, and then the least was towards the end where I earned like next to nothing. So this was just one account and I made 875. So this was my first month where, on an account by account basis anyway, YouTube out-earned TikTok, which is pretty cool. And something else that I want you to pay attention to is that I got 1.8 million qualified views that month and I was paid £875. Compare that with YouTube for a second. Actually, we've got 2 things to compare to there, because check this out, check this out, check this out. How do I compare the amount of views that was? Do I need to go to content? I need to go to videos. I've got the same custom thing set up. So that £900 that I earned on YouTube in September was from 248,000 views. 248,000 views generated £900 on YouTube, but on TikTok, 1.8 million qualified views. Somebody comment down below, what is the difference in amount there? How many times 240,000 or whatever that other number was is 1.8 million? It's a lot. And that isn't even the total views. That is qualified views. So if we just go directly to my phone for a second, this is the same account, the same dates. Look, September 1st to September 30th. I got 3.2 million views that month. 3.2 million. But only 1.8 million qualified to pay me. And because basically the way that works is a qualified view on TikTok is a view where the viewer watched for a minimum of 5 seconds. And because attention spans are in the bin, about 60% of people don't make it. So generally, only about 40% of the total views that you get will actually end up being qualified. You can generally round it to about half. On an average video, it might be 40%. If a video performs quite well, it might be about 50%. Generally, the majority of the videos that I posted is about 40% make it to 5 seconds in. So if a video was to get 100,000 views on TikTok, I can assume that I will get paid for about 40,000 of them. Let's just do some interesting maths for a second, shall we? So 3.2 million total views on that month, on that account, on TikTok, yeah? Let's do how much I would have earned on YouTube for the same amount of views. Okay, so 3.2 million divided by 1,000. 3.2 million divided by 1,000 is 3,200. Now, my RPM on YouTube is around about £4. Obviously, it fluctuates up, it fluctuates down, but if we just say £4, so 3,200 times 4, I would have made last month on YouTube £12,800 if I had the same views on YouTube as I do on TikTok. Isn't that absolutely insane what the difference is? Granted, there are things to consider here for sure. Views are a lot easier to come by on TikTok. I've been a TikToker for years, so I can say that with absolute certainty. Somebody can create an account today. I literally did this. I created a new account yesterday and I've got a video that has got 315,000 views last time I checked. This is just the way TikTok works. Views are easier to come by, but the problem is that they're also less easy to predict. On YouTube, you can generally predict your views and therefore predict your income. It is a much more stable experience for everybody involved and therefore it brings in a peace. I love the fact that it's probably not going to be that much longer until when somebody asks me what I do for a living and I say, oh, I make videos on the internet, and they go, oh, where? I can say YouTube instead of TikTok. Because at the minute, if I say YouTube and they check and I see I've only got 20,000 followers, they're like, oh, you don't earn it. You're not making a full-time living off that. Whereas if I say TikTok and I go, amongst my TikTok accounts, I have 1 million followers, because I do, they go, oh, okay, fair enough. But I wish I could just say YouTuber. YouTube pays a hell of a lot more due to the fact that it is a hell of a lot harder to get those views, due to the fact that the videos are a hell of a lot longer. There's a lot more ad space to sell. A more apt comparison, if you wanted to compare the price points realistically, is comparing shorts, YouTube Shorts, to TikTok. In that instance, TikTok wins, because YouTube Shorts pays way less. But they've just increased the YouTube Shorts limit to 3 minutes, and maybe that'll increase the amount they get paid. Time will tell with that one. It's only been a couple of days since that became a thing. So if you're a content creator, the real smart thing to do is do your absolute best to filter as many of those short form viewers on TikTok across to your long form content on YouTube as you possibly can, because the real money is on YouTube. I hope you guys found this interesting. Let me know if you did or didn't. This was obviously much shorter than my usual video. If you want, I can start doing these videos every month and compare the various different sources so you guys can get an idea. Financial transparency as a content creator is a thing that I think is incredibly important, because it helps other content creators know what to expect and learn how to do things themselves. And also, in some instances, get paid more. Because if everybody sugarcoats how much they actually get paid for their sponsorships, everybody ends up getting underpaid, because the businesses don't want to spend as much as they possibly could be spending. Trust me, if you're watching somebody that has 1 million subscribers, right, their ad spots when they do an advert for whatever advert company they're reading is worth over 5 figures. These big companies will pay a YouTuber with over 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers. They get multi-hundreds of thousands of views per video, well over 5 figures, just for a 60-second integration into whatever video they're making. That is how nuts the sponsorship stuff can get. I don't get sponsors on YouTube yet because I'm way too small, but we keep grinding until we do. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you later.